Peace, family. Total Flash 2.0 here and back again. We about to move on to a new year now, and I just wanted to be able to come to you with this video about the deep cleansing of our planet, which is Terrestas, and the mystery behind the black goo, and that there's an interesting insight I would like to share with you about that when it pertains to our evolution, and letting you know that there is nothing to fear, and also basically what has been hidden from us based upon many allegories that have been created to manipulate us and make us create a reality for our adversary to do what they want to do, to instill mind control so that we keep living the same way every single year. And so I had run across some information about the truth behind Christmas and the fact that the idea of Christmas and, the Bible and so forth, that we got to realize that if we know that the Bible was created by a higher intelligence, which were aliens, okay, and if you are, say, highly conscious at the time to really realize that and awaken, but it's okay if you don't know that. But I'm gonna let you know is that they've been the reason for all our separation based upon these traditions and cultures and so forth. But I came to realize that the true Christ is the Son. Okay, and the reason why I know that is because if you go back to my videos and what I've been sharing with you about creation from the Vesica Pisces and things of that nature, and that the universal prime creator is of the feminine essence in its totality, and that everything, majority of creation, comes from her. And so the most important creation, as far as I've known, has been the sun, because the sun is responsible for everything we need. It is our biggest provider, like I said in my biggest video, in my videos before, and that it helps us to move more in alignment with Terrestas. And so if you look at, say, the certain the ancient Kemites, and they had a honor toward the sun, and they realized that the sun was a way for us to reach our illumination. As I said in that video that I did, how to be in alignment with Terrestas, is that the sun is responsible for the photosynthesis of the plants, for them to grow and be filled with chlorophyll. And once we ingest that, we become illuminated. And so from then and there, you become the sun. As you connect to the sun from your vegetation, you attract your soul as well. You see? So as we connect to the sun, we become Christ itself. We become more of a light being. You see? We'll be able to see the light. And throughout the course, I realized that this is basically what this time of year is all about. And that back then they had so much honor toward the sun that they didn't necessarily say, I guess, worship the sun, but they gave homage to the sun. They did certain say celebrations for the sun to come back, because usually during this time, notice that we have, I guess you have 3 days. There's 3 Christmas days. As far as I know, I'm not in the holiday program like that, okay? But I know that in 3 days the sun dies and then it returns. And notice that according to the Cosmon, it was said that the sun, our planet, was in darkness for 3,000 years. That's right. During the time of the beginning of man being created. And that's for another video, but the 3,000 years represents in the Cosmon a certain period between how long it took for man to be created when this planet was first created as well. So everything was basically, if you go into the Cosmon, you realize that everything was separated based on the number 3, and that it had to reach a certain level of love. In my mind, I realized that everything had to reach a certain level of love to reach the point of illumination, or the point of being ready to receive, to learn new things. And that's how we evolved early, or our ancestors way back then, which were the sacred pygmies, and even primitive man that was here originally before the Andromedans came here. And that's a whole different story and a whole nother video, that they came here and man, the primitive man, evolved based on the guidance of, and I'm going to spill the beans, the daughters of Orion. So that's basically what that's about. But I'll share that in another video. But I want to let you know that that's basically what this is. The birth of Christ is all about the rebirth of the sun, because the mother gave birth to the sun. The womb man gave birth to the sun, the light. You see, because the womb man, the universal prime creator, is the womb man of the dark matter. You see, and that it took willpower to give birth to man, to bring out the light. See, all this is connected here. There's many connections with the idea of the Christ energy. And so that's basically how I'm getting my consciousness for. So if as a man, okay, this is the big, say, conscious and metaphysical thought based upon what this season is all about. But this season is all about based upon you evolving from sunrise to sunset. Remembering that every single day you're becoming a new person. Every night we go to sleep, our soul leaves our body. But we ask, where does it go? And I think I got an idea where it goes. I think it goes back to the sun, or it makes certain travels before reaching the sun and coming back to our body. You see? So it cleans up, say, the negative energies from itself, then comes back to the body, and we wake up. You see? Every single day we're a new person. And once we see that, we'll realize that the universal prime creator will always forgive us each and every day for things we did in our past. And that's why if we understand that, we realize that we are always worthy. You see? Meaning that we don't necessarily have to always seek, say, love outside of us, or certain wants or desires outside of us, or certain things or material things. We have to know that everything we desire was from within. And that's how we made the connection, that the soul is more important. The enriching of the soul, which can enrich the body, is more important than everything around us. And that's what I came to realize when I came to find out this information, that's where the journey of finding love within self begins. And so this is the time for the rebirth. And so, I mean, this is really deep when you talk about the Egyptian gods and so forth, between Horus and Set, the eye of Horus, and Set, the sun Set. And there's a connection there as well, meaning that there's going to always, that it comes down to duality in most cases. And that, yes, the truth about the sun is that his true form is black. Meaning there's going to be a time where the sun is going to end up becoming an actual sunset. It's going to be set based on the darkness. So basically it's going to be whole within self, because it's going to be a time where it could be dark and have the outskirts of the sun behind it. You see, like I explained in my past video. So yeah, everything is connected here, and these are just revelations and things for you to think about. So I had to really share that. Indeed. And when we talk about the deep cleansing of our planet, the sun is assisting Terrestas in this. Okay? Nibiru is assisting Terrestas with this. Nibiru is making our sun more retrograde. And I realized that with this cleansing of the planet, we got to realize this. If we open up to that big idea of what's going on, what is going on is that while Nibiru is doing this, right, with its technology, you have the sun, then you're also bringing in more suns, 2 additional suns or 1 additional sun, because maybe that third sun may be Nibiru itself, you know? And so then you have these Terrestas fighting back with the wind. She's breathing, okay? That's her breath. She's going against the chemtrails once again. And I've seen it all throughout all these days being here. I notice when I look up in the sky, I notice that the chemtrails don't look the same. Now, in some locations, yeah, places where like New York, that's been colder. But I'm telling you right now, when our sun is born again on New Year's Eve, tell you right there that the woman was the first. Evites. That once it is reborn from Eve, then, my fellow brothers and sisters, it's going to be some crazy things that's going to happen when it pertains to yours and my evolution. Okay? And so, you're going to find out that, many of us are going to find out that we're going to be forced to be living in divinity. And I'm going to tell you this, is that with this energy coming on the planet, it's going to make it to where our adversary are going to eventually turn against themselves. Why? Because they depended on these energies for so long. You see, they've depended on the energies of Saturn, Mars, Venus, even Terrestas. And as Terrestas grows, she's going to end up getting a lot warmer. Majority of the environment may end up being more tropical than it ever been before. This is going to be most definitely the last winter. All because of this. All because of what's going on. And we have until springtime to fully awaken our families, ourselves, and hopefully the rest of the planet. You see, I realized that they can't do anything, our adversary. We don't have enemies. Once again, they need to do rituals before they even act on anything. Because they need our mind. They need to do rituals to control our mind first in order for things to happen. You see, that is why you should not fear anything. And that's the reason why I'm telling you this information, so you won't fear anything. Because I realize what's going on with the spiritual war, okay, and the mind war. And so, according to Dr. Blair, and this is why I came to the realization myself, and it made sense that throughout throughout terrestrial, there has been so much forgiveness, so much patience for our adversary to be cohesive and live in love, okay, with its own creations and the cohabitation of this planet. Even other aliens that also live, and I'm going to say it, in the gallows, in the center of the earth. You see, and this is the key: is that she is not tolerating no more. She has been in pain for a while now, ever since the Industrial Revolution, or also ever since slavery, or any other types of slavery before that. You got to realize that Terrestas has felt our pain. The pain we go through, the pain we put upon each other, she feels it too. The blood that is spilled, the tears that from babies, from toddlers, from parents, everything that has been based on pain and war, she feels that. Terrestas is an actual being. All you had to do to know that is by putting your feet on Terrestas. Your bare feet. On the sand. On the grass. Feel the trees. And you will realize that you're going to touch it. You're going to touch the soil, touch that bark. And you're going to realize that, wait, hold on. There's a feeling behind this once you open your pineal gland up. And that's what I felt. I felt pain. And that's the thing with this. And so the planet, even our mothers and sisters from Andromeda are not tolerating anymore. Because this is an androgynous planet. Know it or not. And that it's time to where we ascend to the higher dimension of the fifth dimension. And the way we ascend with her is by consuming from her, being in alignment with her, connecting with her. Because the more we connect with her, the more we'll make her stronger, and to where our adversary be able to make a quick decision to get off the planet. And that actually has happened so far. I had came across some information a couple days back about there were last year in 2015 CEOs in Chicago decided to leave. They decided to leave Chicago quickly. They left their jobs, and it's a conspiracy that says that some of them have moved to Mars or to the moon. And I came to realize that they may be using Dragon robots to do their dirty work. And I'm not going to really say who I think that is, but there's a reason why what happened in Roswell happened. You see? So everything that, once you open up your pineal gland and start meditating, you're going to realize what's going on. And this is not based on assumptions. This is based on consciousness indeed. And when you consume that breath, you can access information from afar. And also when you connect to your spirit guide as well, when you're by yourself. Because I'm by myself a lot. And there's information I'm getting like all the time. So they know that they're not able to live on this planet, so they're using other, say, beings or that they created or artificial intelligence to do their dirty work. You see? So that's what's going on. And so when it comes down to cleansing the planet, as we ascend, as Terrestas ascends, if ascend, right, entities or relative and sister souls, non-souls, tainted souls, whoever, that are not moving in alignment with Terrestas, that are living in hate, that are living in, say, fear that is based off of not seeking a complete understanding to understand or overstand their reality, they're going to be the ones quickly getting off this planet. Meaning that you don't need to literally fight anybody. All you have to do is focus on your evolution and then realize that the fight is happening between the planet and them based on the energy that's coming on the planet. And right now has gotten to the point where there's no mercy. There has been always forgiveness. And now it's got to the point where those that are taking advantage of that forgiveness and are taking advantage of the universe in their rituals will receive the punishment they desire to get. And so, or they actually attracted to them. So they think that they're not under universal law, but they are. And so realize that when people talking about these things, oh, there's going to be, there's like FEMA camps set up and all this stuff, or they plan on doing all these things, realize they can't do that unless we change our minds, unless we connect to nature. That's the key. And that's why I said is that you can do exactly what I'm doing. Because, like I said in my other video, this is a war. This is Star Wars. Period. This is Star Wars. And there's more to our story. There's an origin to our story that's kind of similar to Star Wars. Literally. Based upon the information I got. And it shocked me. It literally did. And that's for future videos. But if you are not moving in alignment, you're gonna find yourself getting off the planet. And how are they gonna get off the planet? Okay. If you are not in alignment, you're gonna start getting sick. If you are not moving into an area of spirituality when it pertains to attracting certain energies in multiple avenues, okay, if you're not moving into higher consciousness, what's going to happen is that you're going to attract certain diseases to you. Also, you're going to be in places that you're going to be in the right place at the right time based on what you're attracted to yourself, and you may find yourself getting hurt. You see, because this spiritual warfare is deep. You see, if you're getting caught up in manipulation based on easily being deceived without being conscious, okay, about it, and not making decisions based on your intuition, you're gonna find yourself in a place that you don't want to be in. That's why I say it's best to be alone at this time. It's best to be alone at this time. Not saying that you don't have to be with anyone. I'm just saying I'm just saying that these are critical times right now. And it would be great for you to have a twin flame at this time, but most definitely this is one of the reasons why it's slim for us to find that other person we desire to be with, because many of us are being deceived. You see? And so being in alignment is as simple as just connecting to the sun. Connecting to what Terrestas provides us, but also connecting to crystals, magnets, shielding yourself, consuming, gold liquids. There are people selling these products, things to speed up your vibration. Okay, all right, slowing down to quicken. You see, let the physical body slow down, but quicken quicken your soul, your spirit, to get certain things done and accomplished. You see, don't live based on the clock. Live based on your own clock. You see, based on your pineal gland, what's going on with what's going on with your body when it pertains to what's happening with the universe at this time. You see, and live more in the turtle. Live more like the turtle. Live more like the turtle at this time. And yeah, when it pertains to the black goo, if you don't know what the black goo is a substance that was found in Washington State underground, but it came up from the surface, and someone reported it, and it was also spotted up in DC. And I'm not sure if you heard anything about this, but from this person, but her name is Floorburn, and she said that the black goo actually came from basically the Anunnaki. Meaning that let you know right then and there is that you got to ask yourself, why weren't they able to be here at this time, or at an earlier time? They were always here, but they finally making themselves known. It's all because the planet has been moving up in vibration, and what they did with this black goo is that they've basically went into the inner earth. They have access, and went into Terrestas' bloodstream, and added the black goo to her. You see, to her bloodstream, so she can easily move in vibration. Now, with my interesting insight, I came to find out that, wait, hold on, if this is in the bloodstream of Terrestas, this could be also in our vegetation. And this black goo is responsible for superhuman qualities. It's responsible for illumination. And so when I thought about that, I said, man, our celestial family is really helping us. And I realized that there's also another, battle, because it was spoken about that they use this black goo for the super soldier program, and that some parents send their children to sign these contracts for their children to be used as an experiment, and they find out that the child may contain telepathic abilities and superhuman capabilities, and this is being done by, you could say, covert affairs of, yeah, the those that govern us. So it is deep, man. It's deep, and but we got to ask ourselves, you know, that the biggest thing is you don't have to worry about that, all because as long as you connect to your spiritual selves, you don't have anything to worry about. And I came to realize something came to me in my spiritual one day, and it told me that don't worry about the dragons, don't worry about all these things they're doing. Just worry about your evolution. And I knew looking back, I knew that came from a spirit guide that told me that. And that's all I have to worry about. And also, my purpose is to also be truthful about my social media and also assist them in awakening you, okay? And for you to awaken others that are brothers and sisters souls. Let them know that they are infinite, that we are all supermen and superwomen that need to awaken. And that's the thing. That's the mystery behind the black goo. And yeah. And in my mind, I want to let you know that there's going to be something amazing. There's something amazing that's going to happen. We don't have nothing to fear. Period. We don't have nothing to fear. Because, like I said in my past videos, universal divine order is happening for us at this time. All the way. And all you need to do is start listening to your heart based on what you desire to do for yourself, okay? Based on your health and for your evolution to go up in higher vibrations, and also for you to be honest about your social media and really evaluating is this who I really am, and expressing who you are 100%. So that you're not benefiting any other entities, like I said in my other video. You see? And use that as a way of a spiritual war, of a mind war, to counteract all these rituals. Because they don't like, everything is being monitored and everything, but guess what? I still am smiling. Right? You still smiling, right? Meaning that all of us are protected, okay? All of us are protected, and that there's going to be brighter days ahead, and I feel as if it just got brighter. There's going to be an interesting 2017, indeed. And I just wanted to give you these insights and this information, just to let you know that there is completely nothing to fear. Indeed. Total Flash 2.0. Here, back again. And remember to always live within the caduceus. Peace.